And action. Hello, and welcome to Pownak Pondering. This is a podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Pow, and this is
Knack.
And together we're Pownak. And we're gonna be doing some pondering today. This is Frederick.
So you're not gonna introduce mine?
That's Gordon. And
Aziza.
Gesundheit.
You know. Doesn't.
Waziza?
Aziza.
And now that everyone's been introduced, let's get on with this podcast. Got a lot of topics today, a lot of things to ponder. And so let's get started.
But I just want to make it clear that this is just us, as you might say, ad-libbing, because we just want to document, well, as you can tell, we're in a dorm, well, an apartment, and, well, if you looked a little closer, you could see that we were on Temple's campus, and so we're really just trying to, what's the word? Capture who, where, when we are right now. You know?
Yes. So, that's why we're here. So let's just get started.
Let me get more relaxed.
Right. I'm pretty relaxed.
Already cracked.
Okay, so, let's get started. So, so many things to talk about.
And also, this would be maybe like 8 times better if our roommate Precious was here. She canceled. I don't really know why, because I saw her in the kitchen today and she was perfectly fine, but now she's not here and we're kind of thrown for a loop, so that's why we seem a little off right now.
She's sick.
What were you saying?
So I was just saying, let's get this started. So many things to talk about. Julia, as a sophomore in college, what are your favorite?
You are too.
Yes. What are your favorite things going on in life?
Frisbee.
Frisbee. Let me just tell you that this probably will not be the last time we talk about Frisbee. First of many Frisbee mentions, probably. Who knows?
Might come up in every sentence. Because that's the only thing that we are right now. It pretty much occupies our weeks. We build our weekly schedule around it. Frankly, we don't know when Frisbee is going to just pop out of nowhere. I think you can agree.
Yeah, I can agree. I started last week thinking I'm going to have 2 Frisbee practices, and I only had 1 Frisbee practice. But they threw us for a loop with a bake sale on Friday. We sold out down to the last oatmeal raisin cookie.
But we had 3 cupcakes left over.
Yes.
And
we did.
The thing about Ultimate Frisbee, it's not just Frisbee, it's Ultimate Frisbee. Once you join it, you can't escape it.
Very true.
We had to join something called the Slack, and that really locks you in. Once you're in this Slack, just a text messaging app, you've got to respond to polls, you've got to respond to direct messages, you have to click on separate channels that designate a tournament, a practice, a workout session. a
throwing
session, thank you. And if you don't respond to it, people just think you like left the face of the earth, and they will come and find you. But that's just who teammates are.
Right.
And well, I think we make it very clear that we just love and cherish our teammates, like we really do.
So much.
And that's why we are so tied down to it. And that's another conversation. We don't have too much time today.
Not today.
Because we actually have a lot to talk about in this podcast that isn't Frisbee.
So true. That's a great segue to our next topic, which would have to be... Since the only thing that sophomore year is about. We're going to be talking about pets and why you will never touch a bunny. You as in the viewer, of course.
You as in you.
I don't know what you mean.
So,
what do you
maybe
mean by
I wanted
that?
to start something, but
Beef?
no, not beef, just...
No beef here.
I just wanted to bring awareness to the fact that every time I bring up getting a pet bunny, you seem just a
Which
little
is
against it, but you
very often.
You seem to keep it a little hidden, but you just make sure that you let me know that a bunny should not be in this place right now. And so I've started to
never
question
said a sentence like that.
if you only want a dog.
I think I've been pretty supportive in your quest for a bunny.
And so I've come to the conclusion that you would never pet a bunny. And
Which
that's why I said you
is,
wouldn't
quote,
touch it.
the opposite of the sentence I just said. I've been very supportive of you getting a bunny. I wouldn't have a problem with a bunny in the same place that I live.
But you've never said, I'd like to see a bunny hop around. And that's just what I've been waiting for.
Well,
I was just gonna say that I hope these mics aren't too distracting. And actually, I didn't want to bring any attention to them.
Then
They could just
why
be the
did
elephant
you?
in the room.
You've already addressed it.
So another question we might have is, why don't we have a pet right now? And I'll give you the space to talk.
It's about time. Well, you know, pets, they're pets. So, spit take. Do a spit take. Spit take.
What? Oh, to gargle?
So anyways, yeah, pets are pets, and a lot of responsibility. Maybe we should just focus on getting A's and B's instead of...
Yeah, so I actually never really wanted a pet here. Another thing is that I'm actually a little afraid of animals. Like, they don't get me. And I just, when a dog looks at me a certain way, like I know, and they can smell fear, you know, and I do have that. Anyway, so we just don't have much to say about pets, but we both wrote that down as a topic, didn't you?
Yes. So, Julia, what are your favorite TV shows right now? What are your favorite TV shows right now?
So, right now, the shows that I would like to watch are in a drought, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so I've really had to venture into shows that I wouldn't typically watch, such as Mandalorian. You could even throw in me watching. What was that show I was watching the other day? See, it's not sticking in my head because it's just really not the type of show that I would want to watch.
Yeah, it was pretty weird when I actually walked in and Julia was watching, the popular classic. It was called.
It was like from the 90s?
No.
80s?
Maybe 1890s.
Oh. But
they didn't have TV then. She was watching the Andy Griffith show. Yeah.
That was that's a
one
place
of your
to
favorite,
take it.
One of your favorite sort of comfort shows. She goes on and on about that show.
But I actually turned it off when you walked in because.
Yeah, you flipped it to Perry Mason because you.
We don't get that channel.
What do you mean? We get it. You were watching it. Don't lie. Just because the camera's on.
No, but I actually. Well, I switched it off because you shouldn't be seeing me watching that.
Right.
And so I'm actually.
Why?
Well, I just don't know what it is.
Right.
And so we came into this episode and we said we were gonna lie. And Clarissa backtracked on that idea because this is supposed to be for you. We already know ourselves. We know the other one at least 30%. And so this is for you to really hear about. Well, we're at 12 minutes already. What have we talked about? You could like take all of this out and start over. And like I'm sweating. And I really think that if we just read our monthly horoscope. My phone is right there. I'll read your monthly horoscope and you can just have a reaction.
Do you need my time of birth?
No.
And so I'll just gab with the camera. I'll gab with the camera. Hey you guys. So crazy things are going on.
I'm gonna get the hiccups.
Julia's gonna get the hiccups. I haven't had the hiccups for a while, and so that's nice. Precious has a cold, but I still made her eggs and bacon this morning. And yeah, things are nice here. Things are good. We've got a nice rug here. You can't see it, but sorry.
Barely felt it.
Alright. But you can see it. It's over. There's a rug, and we've got hardwood floors here at Temple Towers, and birds are tweeting, and baseball is coming back, and a lot of blue skies. Spring is in the air. Spring is in the air, and with spring comes new opportunities, new experiences, and this is my spring motion. Spraying. I'm imagining a little jazz number.
Your ruling planet Mercury meets Saturn and fellow air sign Aquarius on March 2nd.
Is this for me?
Yeah, which may find you firming up travel or education plans.
I'm not understanding a word coming out of your mouth.
You want to travel to DC.
I do.
And your education plans, what are those?
Turn and work, get good grades, get my GPA up.
A serious, focused
basic college things.
Decisions about your career pick up as Mercury enters Pisces, also on March 2nd. If you're looking to spread the word about something, Mercury in Pisces is on your side. And then on March 6th, you could be...
It already happened.
On March 14th.
Also already happened.
Mars squares off with Neptune, which can find you working through confusing feelings about how to take action, especially in your career that's boring. March 16th is busy.
That is true, it was.
The sun, I don't know why they talk about, you can, Mercury's meeting with Neptune can find you connecting with your intuition in some deep way. Your hunches could pay off, perhaps even benefiting your career. They're really talking like we're out of college or something.
Like we're in our 30s worrying about careers.
What day is it? The 20th? So yesterday, okay, March 20th, you should be finding that you're connecting with a lot of power and influence. And so March 21st is perhaps you're connecting with a new social circle or reconnecting with friends. A new wish or dream for the future could enter your heart. Anything? Anything at all? A new wish?
Today?
Or dream?
Today?
Tomorrow. I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, we will.
You could also be taking up a new hobby or connecting with a group that shares your passions and interests.
I've been looking for a good group that shares my passions and interests. I'm waiting for them to sort of appear. It'll be any day now.
And so...
Could be tomorrow.
March 28th, your general mood is optimistic, open-minded, and humorous. March 28th, write that on your calendar to be optimistic that day.
Do I have to write it on my calendar? Won't I just wake up optimistic?
I tend to think that your horoscope is something that you have to...
Hey, what about your horoscope?
Well, it should really be you reading it.
Okay, I can read. We're gonna take a little advertisement break and advertise our new medicine. Picture this. You have COVID.
Are we sure we're gonna go with that?
And you see...
I was gonna say you have like blisters on your feet. It's a very common thing at these Frisbee tournaments.
Right.
Let's go back to Frisbee.
No, let's not go back to that. Trying to change the subject with a bad segue. No. Anyways, I just said COVID because when it's COVID, Paxlovid. And that's all I really wanted to say about that.
We don't endorse it. I mean, we're just neutral about it.
All right.
But before you begin with reading my monthly horoscope, I will say, well, maybe this will, you know what, just read it and I'll give evidence.
All right.
Homework to do.
God with the camera.
Guys, I know we thought that we would have more of a plan, but Clarissa said that, but I kept saying that the podcasts that have a plan are a certain way, and the podcasts that you're just kind of listening to two people talk are another way. And I tend to think that we would fit more of the second way to talk, but I think we're just a little nervous.
I'm not nervous.
Because I've never held a microphone like this before, and so I just want to get my thoughts out, but like they're all scrambled, and I had coffee today and my brain is thinking faster than I can talk, and I'm also sweating because of that, and I haven't even finished my tea because I'm nervous about doing this. I have no time to drink. But usually a podcast should be like you're sitting down and you really are just drinking tea when you're not talking, and it's supposed to look like a relaxed hangout.
So anyways, March could represent a seminal moment for you, when conditions you wrangled with are starting to reach a solution or end point. This month changes everything.
That's what I've always said about the spring. Just tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the start of spring?
Yep, free water ice at Rita's. We don't live next to one now.
No, we don't. Mars has been traveling in your home and family sector, and because Mars rules your financial sector, you were spending your money on either your home.
Again. Let's get away from the adult talk.
You've been spending money on this home.
I've been spending money on food a lot. It's something that I really contend with myself because
That's asleep.
it's hard to stop spending money on food. Like, I just got a $3 $75 bagel and cream cheese, but you can buy like 8 bagels for that amount of money at the store.
So why don't you?
It's just something about, I think you literally get like serotonin when you buy food because your brain likes the food, and so then you don't mind spending the money because you're just fighting to get that rush again.
I don't think I get serotonin from spending money.
Because you don't care about the taste of food.
I said from spending money.
No, I know. I don't get that when I spend money, but the food that I get that I really want, it just off-puts how I feel about spending money, which is why I go back and do it again. I think it's a common theme with college students because if you're someone who makes food in your kitchen in your apartment, like, that's special. If you do that, then you're setting yourself up for a great adult life.
Thank you.
But there's so many people who they live for their iced coffee that they get for $5 at Saxby's. My foot's asleep too. I guess we're not elementary school anymore. So what was your favorite book that your teacher read to you in school? Or did they not read to you? You had those little sessions where like everyone would be sitting on the carpet and you just like sit there for 30 minutes, play with your shoes, tie your shoelaces, maybe like hit someone in the back. And the teacher's in like a rocking chair. Actually, what did you call? Wait, sorry. What were you gonna say?
Definitely not.
Oh, well, my teacher read Wonder to us,
We had to read that ourselves.
and my teacher read The Pigeon. You know, the pigeon and the hot dog. Wait, you know that though?
No. I have never
That's
heard
crazy.
pigeon and hot
That
dog
was like a fad.
in the same sentence before.
Yeah, there's a whole ow.
What's going
I
on?
don't know, it's really tingly. But I was also gonna say, what did you call the, well, if you even had them, but what did you call the, like, technology and library and art? You would have, like, blocks of time where you went and did, like, we call them specials. Or were you just in class? Did you have an art class?
Yes.
So that's why you're so artsy.
What? Get in the frame, Julia.
Oh.
You had an art class?
Yeah, we used to. That's
Does
how
that
I
mean-
knew how to make. I could make a mug. We had a kiln.
We did too.
That's for what?
What do you think?
So you didn't have art? I mean, you did have an art class?
I said we had an art class.
But was it like a elective?
Everyone took art.
Right. What was this, middle school?
Elementary school.
Oh, so. Yeah, that was pretty much what I had. Except your whole class would go together. Like, you would leave your main class and then you'd go to your special.
Class.
Yeah. But anyway, that's where I learned that's how I learned how to draw. Now, this has always stuck with me. It's where I learned how to draw the 3D box by doing the 2 squares and then the one that's a little offset. And then you draw the lines. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know how to draw a 3D box.
So where did you learn it? Just from your own brain?
Just typical, I guess maybe.
I know what you are. You're one of those people that used to draw those cool looking S's.
Yeah, everyone did that.
And I didn't.
That was a fact.
I didn't.
Okay, but you knew people who did.
And I never knew how to draw them, but I know for a fact that you must have.
Yeah, because everyone was doing that. Right? They said yes.
So, we just saw. Can I see that poster? No. We just saw Into the Woods.
Don't you mean
And
into the woods
to grandmother's house.
and home before dawn, dark.
And anyway, so we would really be going amiss. Is that how you say it? We would be remiss if we didn't talk about Into the Woods, because basically it was the type of musical that you just latch on to, and it becomes like a time in your life. Now, I want to talk about the first musical that happened to you with, because you say that every year a year is basically a musical for you.
I don't say that. But every year I do sort of try and get into a new musical, just to sort of.
But you don't force it, right?
No. Why would I force it?
Like, it happens by chance and by circumstance. It happens about the people you know or what is happening around you. You don't, like, just pick one.
I think it's sort of both. Like, I guess you could say it's about the people around me. But then I'm just like, okay, this is it. This is what I'm going to focus on. This is the musical for this year.
And why do you think it takes you a year to, like learn a musical?
Well, it takes a few weeks to.
It takes
takes two.
two. Not.
We had.
We had.
Wait.
3.
No, we
It
had.
takes 2. We need 1.
No,
That was
it's like
it.
we had
3.
We had none. We have 3. We need 1. It takes 2. Anyways,
That was just a snippet of it. And you know what? That's not even the best of it. There are so many good songs in this show. And I think you'd love to give a little highlight reel of the best songs.
All right. We'll put a pin in that because I just wanted to say that, to answer your question,
I
that
don't remember what it was.
that
Please enlighten me.
that it only takes it takes a few weeks to get into a musical, and then a few months maybe, or just a longer period of obsession, and then after a while it sort of fizzles out.
So
And so
Into the
that would
Woods-
take up a full sort of year span.
So Into the Woods is special because you got addicted to it one day. Maybe 2.
Over the course of a week, I'd say. Anyways, now let's take the pin out. A highlight reel of the best Into the Woods songs.
Also, before we start, Into the Woods has caused
Into the Woods.
Clarissa to not be able to pronounce the s sound. I mean, that's the only thing we can trace it back to. There's not really much of anything else that could lead to
Basically,
that. But once
I'm bad at pronouncing my S's because of the literary,
and we'll give you an example of why.
what's it called? Syncopation
Mhm.
of the words. It's just
And the enunciation.
enunciation. It can sort of set the balance off, but
And so you have a song like this.
it's
because of you that there's a
giant in our midst, and my wife is dead. But it isn't my fault. I was given those beans when you persuaded me to trade away my cow for beans.
And so see how we couldn't even get that out, but we've been working on it for 2 weeks.
And then
More.
no, I wouldn't say that.
I'm so sure.
We haven't been actively working on it. Just like in our spare time, like randomly when we wake up, we might play it once or twice and then go to class. And if we had the lyrics in front of us, we could do it. I could do it. Were they worthless beans? Were they oversold?
And in the first place.
Wait a minute.
So it's your fault.
No.
Well, but it is, but it isn't, but it is.
No, that's not in the song.
No more riddles.
No more jests.
No more parents.
You never knew.
How can you
ignore
all
the
giants?
all the children. No more.
You can listen to that and compare. You'll find some similarities.
Anyways, this highlight reel of the best songs in Into the Woods, I'll give it to you straight. The first song,
Excited for this.
it's 15 minutes long, maybe it's 13 minutes. One of the best songs it really sets you up. It really gives you everyone. Dun-dun.
And so say it.
What, the prologue?
Once upon a time.
Once upon a
Dun
time.
dun dun
That's what I
dun
just
dun.
did.
Now I can give you an inside look at what Stephen Sondheim said about the beginning. You hear once upon a time. Now this was interesting to me at least. You hear once upon a time, and the audience starts to sit back and, oh, I'm gonna hear a story, a fairy tale that my mom used to read to me before bed. And then right as you hear once upon a time, it cuts to this really urgent. I think we can act it out as I'm pulling it up.
Act it out. I mean, we pretty much acted it
Ready?
out. You didn't. You gave it away.
Once upon a time.
I wish.
And the I wish. Well, should we give that away?
It's not for you, it's for my granny in the woods. Just a loaf of bread, please. To feed my poor old hungry granny in the woods. Just a loaf of bread, please. Into the woods I have to go, I hate to leave, I have to though. Into the woods, it's time to go, I must begin my journey. Into the woods
to sell the cow, to make the money, to go to the festival.
Into the woods.
Guys, it's just great.
We've been doing this.
And I'm sure
we've
you've
had many moments like this, whether it's when we wake up, before bed, just like any time throughout the day where we can just hyper fixate on different things.
Yeah, so basically what happened is we couldn't sleep, we couldn't work, we couldn't go into, if we were in a room together, we couldn't not be singing this Into the Woods, and in some way that's a beautiful thing. Just be wary of that when you start your journey into the woods. And let's cut.
Cut that.
We're at 37 minutes.
Say it with me. Hydrate, don't.
It's not the cliche thing.
Mercy. Hydrate, don't.
I mean, people say dehydrate.
Yeah, that's what I want you to say. Not people say that's specifically.
So what are your thoughts on limerence?
Now explain it to our viewers who don't understand.
But do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't understand.
So limerence is this term that, it's not a new term, but everyone seems to love it nowadays because it's basically where you have this unnatural isn't a good word, but it's like this overbearing infatuation with someone. And it's pretty fitting because, see, when you're, should I say this?
I don't know what's about to come out of
When
your
you're
mouth
on
right
a
now.
frisbee team, limerence is a common theme.
What did you say?
Overbearing, takes over your,
Infatuation with someone?
yeah, takes over your brain and your mind. And essentially you know that this person is unreachable, or at least you keep them unreachable because that's what provides you the fascination. You can build them up in your head. And I think once a lot of people hear that term, they'll realize, like, wow, I resonate with that. But people don't talk about it. Like, I just learned about it because of TikTok. And it's nothing bad, it's nothing good, it's nothing, it just happens. Some people to a greater extent. And so that's why I was asking what your thoughts on limerence are.
It's definitely a real thing that can happen.
Another thing is that people get...
Julia, I said one sentence, and you said 20.
But let me just add something for context because, well, you just have to explain it to the audience. And so another thing about limerence is that people get almost addicted to it because it truly, like, fuels their, like, it makes them happy. It releases chemicals. And so for a lot of people, it, like, it feels good to them because they are getting, like, the chemicals that make it feel like that. So it's really hard to break out of for some people, and it can get pretty detrimental. And I don't know if you've ever had that experience, but the floor is yours.
Right. I was just going to say that it's easy to meet someone new or just start talking to someone who you've known about but you've never really talked to them, and then you find out, wow, they're actually they're pretty funny, and hey, they're not too bad. And just like thinking like that, and then like you could say, you can really start to go into it and dissect and analyze everything, like I guess I really didn't know this person was there, but I guess they've always sort of been in the background, and wow, the thing they said the other day was actually really funny, and you can just really get really just focused on this person and like the things they do, and you can ask them questions like, oh, so what classes are you going to? And then maybe you might find yourself like looking at the building where they might be, lurking around where they might be, or just like
Not stalking.
Yeah, not stalking. Don't even say that S word, but just like you just want to see them because like you feel like it's a good friendship and you have a good time when you're with them, and so you want to spend a lot of time with them.
I think that's passing the threshold that is limerence, because once they feel like it's a friendship, that means it's mutual. Well, I hope it is.
So you're saying that limerences are not mutual?
Limerence is completely not mutual, and that's the problem with it.
I see.
And so once you have any sort of connection with someone that's in real life and they're accessible to you, you can't be limerencing. But I just thought that it would be nice to bring light to this topic because
you can't really compare it to the people on the Frisbee team though, because they are our friends.
Yeah, but there's a little bit to that. I think anytime you're on a okay, well, we can talk about the gayest sports. If you have any thoughts on that, otherwise we can move on.
I don't have many thoughts on that.
But rugby's the winner, which we're not on. But I'd assume that there's 3 people. If there's 25 people on the rugby team, 3 of them are straight.
Just a loaf of bread, please.
Oh, we might have a guest.
But we don't. Say it with me. There are giants in the sky.
There are big, tall, terrible, beautiful, awesome, beautiful.
Why are they
giants?
Are they beautiful?
That's what Jack thinks.
Giants
In the sky.
Our voices are a little rusty.
And is that because we've been singing too much or too little? You tell us. And so I think one of my dreams is to actually be like a good singer and be a singer in like a musical. But my only singing comes from singing in the shower.
Speaking of singing in the shower, I was dancing in the shower today.
Yeah, I know. It's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
What were
but
you
I
dancing to?
always dance in the shower.
Okay, but I like just never danced whatsoever. But now I just like let go in the shower.
Well, I always listen to music in the shower, and so I figure that I always like dance. Like I'm always bobbing my
It's
head.
probably bothering them. Yeah, and so what was the song that really made you want to move?
Disco. Made you want to move.
You can't see the record player.
Gordon's in the way.
Awesome giants in the sky.
You see it, right?
I am on my way.
I
Just
can-
make butter out of cream.
All right. I was listening to Feather by Sabrina Carpenter, one of her newly released songs. I'll give you a little snippet. I feel so much lighter like a feather with you off my mind. That's sort of the
It's
hook.
an earworm.
Yep, it is an earworm. So.
And I get why it's called feather.
Yeah, lighter like a feather.
Mm-hmm. Sure, it has another meaning. Does it?
They can't hear it. I feel so much lighter like a feather with you off my mind. And even the part at the end where she's like something. The words no duh.
She's good with doing the
No duh. Where
speaking.
I'm up. She has a little hook at the end, and that's pretty good too. And it just made me feel good because like people can listen to that song and like I don't know, I feel like I started listening to it very quickly, like the day it came out. And so when you listen to songs and just music, like right after they come out, you sort of feel like I was on this train first. Everyone else sort of got on it after me.
Right,
And so
everyone
you
lives
feel
for that moment.
a little superiority over the rest. Or like just random people who are like, yeah, I just started listening to this song, and you're like, oh, that? I've been listening to it for months. Where have you been? It's always been this good. And so I guess I've got that going for me. And so when, like, I saw someone who was talking about it just today, and it came out like a couple of days ago. And so like I already knew it, and I guess they had just discovered it, and so I felt like I was a little better than
Came out on
them.
my birthday, didn't it?
The day after maybe. But yeah, and so I don't know. I just felt like really like the shower really reinforced it, because like the shower was going on, that song was playing. I was like, wow, I'm just like really great. Like I feel so much better. And like, and the thing is, like, I'm going to see Sabrina Carpenter live next month, and so like I was just like, who's going to see Sabrina Carpenter live? Not you. None of these people. I am though.
Who were those people?
Just people who aren't going to the.
And you said that in the shower to yourself?
Yeah, I did.
And I would believe that because you talk
Now
to
don't.
yourself.
Okay.
We could get into the very bountiful topic of the only child versus the sibling
Let's get into it.
versus the what's the other word? Only child versus there's not a good word
Those
for
with
it.
siblings.
Those with siblings. And I often will bring up something that Clarissa does, and it's just very only child like, but I don't realize it until I think about it. And I think most of the time we agree. What did you say?
I suppose, yes.
But I don't know if it's
Just for
inaccurate.
context, I am an only child, and Julia.
3 siblings. And so that's quite a lot in this day and age. Heavy on the quite. And it's just very apparent to me when actually it seems a little inaccurate sometimes because I've never experienced being an only child.
That is
So
true.
how do I know?
I think you've just sort of gathered. Like, I gather this is how it is just by knowing me or maybe other only children.
And so if Precious was here, she'd be a really good resource because she has 4 siblings.
You're a good resource because you have 3 siblings,
Well,
and Precious isn't here.
so I'd say that sometimes I notice. Stop! That's putting bad energy into the world.
No, I was sending good vibes to Precious.
Point in her room. And so really there's too many differences to talk about. I can't even grasp onto one.
Okay, so let's think of 2 good things about 2 of your favorite things about having siblings. And
That's
I'll think
easy. Road trips, watching shows together when we were little.
All right.
Getting into mischief together, I guess, would be the more broad topic.
Right.
And so why don't you describe your experience with a road trip?
Road trips? I
Despise them, did you say?
did not. I think they're fine. I think maybe because of the parents I've had, I might attach stress to the idea of road trips. But now that I'm in my adult life, I don't really think that they're too stressful. Just because they don't need to be stressful. You can have a good time, whether it's with yourself or just with friends. So yeah, but I guess in the past I might have thought that they're pretty stressful. I didn't have necessarily too much fun on road trips.
And so to contrast with that, I looked forward to road trips. I wanted to get in that minivan. I wanted to be in the back on my DS playing games with my 3 siblings also on their DSs. We just drew pictures to each other with our DSs, and that occupied us. And those were back in those days when you could do that and not get bored. But it was just a special time because I felt like I didn't have to think about anything. Now, you would probably say that you had to be the one thinking about what was going on.
No, I wouldn't say when I was younger I didn't have to think about, like, I wouldn't have to think about too many things just because I didn't really know what was going on around me too much. But I don't know, I would just sit in the back seat and look at the cars and the grass.
It's not bad.
And listen to the music. The music really made me feel better about the trips because listening to 60s Motown for a couple of hours, I think now that that's what I did. Like, it's good for the soul listening to that music for me.
And looking out the window, I agree. So the other thing about having siblings is, now I don't know how only children do it, but your parents are laser focused on you, from what I can gather. When you have even one other sibling, they have to split their attention. If you're upstairs and your other sibling is downstairs, then they're talking with the other sibling, and you're just upstairs and you know you can relax and not have not even any thoughts in your direction, let alone someone talking to you. And so you can really imagine with 3 siblings, it's like, geez, I kind of want someone to talk to me, because it gets to a point where your parents aren't thinking about you. They're not laser focused on you, unless you like break a bone or you need stitches or something like that. And so I just don't know how only children do it, because I cannot imagine being in a house knowing that the only other people are your parents, and they're like waiting for you to come into the same room as them, like they're living for that moment, when in reality you should have your own time and not be thinking that, gosh, I kind of feel obligated to go downstairs and hang out with them because no one else is. But with 3 siblings, all of the weight is distributed. My 2 brothers could be making dinner, and then I could be upstairs knowing that I can just watch YouTube, and then they'll call me down for dinner, and then maybe my job is to wash the dishes, but after I wash the dishes, then I can go back up to my room. They'll be downstairs watching TV with my parents. My sister will be in her room, so if I needed to talk to someone, she's right there in a isolated room. If I really wanted to go and hang out with someone, I could go downstairs and my parents wouldn't be instantly asking me questions because my other siblings are there, so they can kind of mitigate the amount of talk directed at me. So I think I would be a very different person if I didn't have siblings, which leads me to why you are the way you are and I am the way I am.
Now, I have 2 things to say. One is that I've got a few things to say. One, there is pressure as an only child.
I thought so.
As an only child, because it's like you said, like they do sort of give you a good amount of attention. But for me personally, I didn't really let it get to me. I would still spend time in my room alone. I would still watch movies by myself. It's not like they were exactly forcing me and like saying, hey, let's all watch a movie together. And we all watched movies every night together. It's not like we ate dinner at the table every day, and that when I got home from school, they'd ask me questions. But yeah, it's not like that. Like I'd have a lot of time to myself, and so yeah. So there's that, and then it's just a pressure with like how you say things. And like
they'll remember every word.
My parents are a little older, so they might not remember.
They'll remember how you made them feel.
That's a whole nother topic entirely, about parents and having to deal with how they feel. But yeah, and so there's that. And then I also just want to point out that when I first met Julia, I was sort of shocked at how your family was
Operated. No, I haven't heard much about this, so what were you shocked by?
Shocked because it seems like from a distance, like when I first met you, I was like, wow, Julia's got the perfect family. Like it almost blew my mind at how perfect that it really all seemed. You had just moved into a new house, and so you had like steps that went up into the bedrooms, and just like a nice kitchen area and a living area where it seemed like everyone was constantly like sitting and like looking at the TV together, and you really seemed like a really perfect family. Like everyone was just like nice to each other, and you all laughed together and things like that, and it just seemed
that's something else I want to get into.
But it just seemed really perfect, And I guess I now know that it's not like the best to just like assume like, yeah, it's perfect, because like a lot of people do have like imperfections. So like there's that, but I think that might be another reason why you just had such a good experience as a child with things like that, because maybe if the way your parents were was different, or if your siblings did different things and they were also different, maybe your childhood would have been also pretty different too, just given your situation. But I'd say you have a pretty great situation growing up compared to other people, which is why you turned out the way you did, and I turned out the way I did. And also turning out, like we're sitting at the same spot
we're
right
still
here.
turning out.
We've turned.
No, but like when you really get down to it, living in this apartment is us turning out.
How so?
You
We've
even
turned.
have it in your bio. I know where I'm supposed to be and this isn't it. You're still trying to turn out.
Yeah, but this is us after we've turned out. I don't like that we're sticking to this phrase, but I guess grown up is essentially it. Like
I did just turn 20.
Yeah, we've grown. You're now 20, and personally, I feel like I'm like in sort of the world now, like things like looking for jobs, things like graduate school, things like thinking about 401ks and
let's
stocks,
talk about
stocks and bonds and things like that.
Maybe I'll open this up and just read an excerpt. But
Anyways,
I was gonna get back to
we've turned out.
maybe we have, and maybe we just have to investigate if we like what we are now or
But
not.
even though you've grown up, essentially, you can still grow, which is probably still why you're thinking.
We better.
you're thinking that we haven't grown up, because like we still have a long way to grow with a lot of things in life.
And so I was gonna talk about, yes, me and my siblings had many of the same hobbies. Biggest one I can think of is we all played an instrument in band. That took over our lives from middle school until the end of high school.
Still now.
Except really, not. Because only
But for some.
Adam and Luke have continued with music, and they're not even doing the same thing. But I've thought a lot about this, and if we all weren't doing the same thing, we wouldn't have been that close. I mean, who's to say, but we wouldn't have had any shared experiences, which then...
You would have had shared experiences.
Name one.
Julia, living in the same house together, going to the same basketball games, or just the same outings, the same whatever you had, neighborhood picnics.
No, our neighborhood was actually very isolated because everyone had moved there from another place, and so everyone was just in and out, in and out.
All right, well, the same
I actually
PTA meetings. Like, you had the same experiences because
PTA.
you were... I don't know. Okay, but you had shared experiences just because you were in the same house, going to the same school with most of them, and experiencing the same things.
My mom wanted us to be together when we moved to a different place because we were third graders, and she didn't want us to feel like we were completely with nothing we've never known before. And I think that was a good decision because having my brothers with me in class, it definitely gave me a sense of comfort. And frankly, that was like the most messed up time in my life when we had moved when I was that young.
I think it would have been interesting to see how you would have turned out if you all went to different schools.
Well,
Because
that would have been the case.
More individuality with everyone.
Yeah, that would have been the case if we hadn't moved. We were in different classes, and people didn't really see us as a trio because ever since kindergarten we had been... No, we were in kindergarten together, and then first and second grade we were in different classes. But I was very codependent with them, and I truly think after being in college for a year, I feel good about how I've become kind of my own person. I also don't want to take away from the fact that I really enjoyed experiencing school with my siblings, and I just, like, who did you do math homework with if you were only an only child? Who did you ask a question about a test with? Who did you...
Well, I didn't really ask questions about tests.
Who did you
and
go
I
to
did math homework either
with
alone. My mom's. I did a lot of homework, I guess, alone, or I had an after-school program that I went to every single day after school, and then it was also a summer camp, so I was there basically almost 365 when I wasn't in school or at my house. So I had those people who I knew.
I kind of attribute doing so well in my classes with taking the same classes as my siblings, but then I began to think if I wasn't in the same class as my siblings and I didn't have them, then I would have been reaching out to friends in the class. So I've always kind of regretted not branching out because I did have like a support system at home, and so I wouldn't really branch out to people.
I think I relied on the internet a lot too for homework.
Khan Academy.
IXL.
IXL. I did that too.
Yeah, IXL. What was it? There was that thing. It's like was that Khan Academy where they would write on the board?
Mm-hmm.
All right, then just videos like that, and other things. But my mom, I remember just a few things, and I remember my mom saying, "I'm good at math, and your father's good at history," and so I guess if I needed help with math, I'd go to my mom.
And your brother was good at English.
I don't have a brother.
Could have used one.
No. Get good at English yourself.
Did you?
I was great at English. I loved grammar. I had a mug that said grammar police on it. But my mom...
That's a person.
I got it from Books A Million. But my mom broke it on accident before college. And I was...
Maybe she was helping you out.
What's that supposed to mean?
You wouldn't have brought it.
I might have. I use that mug all the time for tea.
So do you miss your dorm room from Johnson and Hardwick?
No.
Not at all?
No. I mean, I had space.
Did you?
More space than I do now.
You did utilize your 2 beds well.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
But I was pretty much in your room a lot, the cool room, the room where everyone sort of hung out.
I never called it that.
Yeah, I didn't either. But that's just like this sort of like cool room. Not saying it was super cool, but that's just where people
It actually didn't even have these lights in it.
People in our friend cluster gathered on occasion.
I was wondering what word you were going to throw out there.
So, yeah. I tried to spend as much room in as much time in other people's rooms than mine, because I
think you followed through on that.
Yeah, I did.
And so what are you hoping for next year?
Next year, I'm hoping for the same stuff, but meeting new people, new friends to sort of, I guess, share my life with.
It's nice.
And that's about it. I'm pretty happy where I'm at. Trying to get better grades. I've got a Frisbee team that is supportive and loving. Very cool people on that team. I almost shouted someone out, but if I shout one person out, then I've got to shout all of them out.
I think we can easily shout out.
Let's not start this. Let's not start any of this. Let's not. We're shouting out the whole team. We love them so much. But
I actually love Buff.
yeah. But
And it flows right off the tongue. Say it.
Buff.
But the full sentence.
B team
I
ultimate.
love Buff. It flows off the tongue.
I love Buff.
Or rolls.
Yeah.
So sometimes I just say that.
Tough.
I just say I love you, Buff, from the sidelines, and it just feels so natural and
I love tough.
from the heart.
Tough is from the heart.
You're right. Tough love.
Because I love them all. But yeah, I've got Frisbee. I've got a nice place here. I've got mugs like this, which is like,
And guess what? You're not in Tennessee.
yeah, I'm not in Tennessee. What did that have to do with anything?
Well, it's just that things are happening down there. You never finished my horoscope. You said one thing. But I was
because
gonna
you
say
kept talking.
well, I was just gonna say that
I'm on your
I've really
phone.
been seeing it's alright. Oh, it's 9:23. I've really been seeing a lot of 111s and 1111s, and that always means that I'm on the right path. And what's your special number?
Time-wise,
Yeah.
don't really have one.
So you haven't been on the right path?
No, I just don't feel too special when a certain number shows up on the clock. I do have a whole thing with time.
Maybe you're more sane than I am.
Don't know about that, but I do have a thing with clocks and time about how I like the numbers to sort of have some sort of relationship with each other, which is a whole thing. But
Get into it.
really? Well, essentially, I just like the numbers to sort of have a relationship with another and either be add up to another or something be divisible by something else or multiply to something else. So, for example, 420, 4 times 5 is 20.
But 5 isn't in it.
Yeah, but still, 20 divided by 4 is 5.
So let me give you a time and you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10.
Well, it's not
Like,
about
how well do you
rating
like
it.
416?
416, 4 times 4 is 16. 4 squared is 16. 16 divided by 4 is 4.
That's why I thought you would like it. But 520,
5 times 4 is 20.
but 4 isn't in it.
Okay, but
Don't
it's...
you like 222?
I guess they're all divisible by 1.
Don't you like 123?
No.
So does
They're
Thursday?
both prime numbers.
What color does Sunday equal?
Yellow.
Me too. And I'm not lying about that.
Okay, but we are different people because for me, English is red and math is blue.
Math is red and English is yellow.
But science is
Is
green.
green.
That's something we can all agree on. And I've given social studies purple.
I've never used, well, maybe if I had purple, I would use it for math because I don't like red. You do.
It's alright.
But I also would use blue for history. Is that what you said?
Social studies.
Yeah.
Black was banned.
Yeah, they gave me a black folder.
Exactly.
Did it have like the gold writing on it?
Just a binder.
So if we got to a point in the conversation where we wanted to use this, I could just say the word.
Just do what you want to do, man. How do we feel about the cool cats at Temple? Or are they? Or are they?
Yeah, are they cool cats? I think Temple has a lot of cool cats.
Temple does have so many cool cats.
What I've realized about Temple...
This goes back to limerence.
Yeah. What I've realized about Temple is everyone is very... They're actually just genuine. And you don't realize that until you really think about it, but people don't care. Everyone is weird and like...
Weird in a good way.
Yeah, weird is actually the best compliment coming from us. Everyone is weird, but they're like nice.
Yeah, it's true. Everyone is weird and nice and pretty cool.
And they let you be, but like you also feel the
like it's a certain energy,
camaraderie.
Yeah, camaraderie, like
because you're all in it together.
Yeah, we're all here in Philadelphia together.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're dealing with it, with everything, because there are specific things going on here that aren't going on, for example, in Knoxville.
What's Knoxville like?
I don't know. Don't ask me. Dollywood. Hello. No need to whisper with a microphone in your hand.
So I'm gonna read out these topics, and you tell me which one resonates with you.
All right.
Peasant war in Germany. Socialism, utopian and scientific. The 18th Brumaire. What is to be done? Critique of political economy. Got this for $2.99.
Was that it?
No, it just I didn't think I should keep going. But I could read the introduction.
No, I just want to say that there was a field trip in 8th grade where my whole sort of the whole grade went to a utopian society, utopian town in Tennessee. I did not go. I think it was called Nakomi. But everyone went, and that was where we had sort of our 8th grade graduation.
You don't mind me asking, why didn't you go?
Because I didn't want to. I think I was sort of put off by it. I liked the idea of utopian society, but the way they were like advertising it just felt weird to me. Like everyone was hyping it up and was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go to Nakomi. But like it just felt weird because like, I don't
Pause
know.
the video and go look up pictures of Nakomi.
No.
Are you back?
Oh, me?
To them.
Right. You. Are you back? Did it look nice? I don't know. But
would you go? Have you been?
But yeah, it was like, as an 8th grader, I guess we don't talk about pre-quarantine Clarissa because
I feel that.
Anyways, but yeah, it was like there wasn't any cell service, so like if you wanted to call someone or text someone, you couldn't, because it was just so secluded. I think you were only, like, they didn't serve any, like, meat. It was only, like, vegan options, I think. And then, like, I don't know, it just seemed really, well, now that I think about
Make
it.
an A24 horror movie about it.
Maybe. But now that I think about it, I would have sort of liked to go because, like, it doesn't
make
sound...
content for this podcast, wouldn't it?
I think we've got enough content for this podcast, but I would have, like, if I went now, I probably would have liked it, because every day I'm spending less and less time on my phone, and I'm having more and more internal struggles with eating meat and different proteins. But I didn't go, and I ended up staying at school, and so it was sort of sad to, like, miss my 8th grade graduation, but I ended up giving incoming freshmen, so people who were in my 8th grade class, I gave them a tour of the school, and it sort of goes
That was the start.
full circle, because now I'm a tour guide at my university, which is a dwindling job.
How long do you think it's gonna last?
It'll probably last all 4 years for me.
And is that good for your soul?
Definitely not.
So we can move on from that.
All I'm saying is that I get $7.25 an hour, and I'll leave it at that.
Moment of silence. So you talking about that trip reminded me of this. It was probably one of the more embarrassing. Embarrassing isn't even the right word. It was just like demeaning, because I had good enough grades. I think you needed like a 3.25 GPA or something to go.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, how they reward you with grades.
Yeah.
And you could go to I don't know, it was a theme park.
Here?
No, Washington.
Alright.
And I just like didn't have a friend to go with, so I knew I wouldn't enjoy it. It was middle school. 7th grade was the worst year of my life. And anyway, I was in gym class, and you have to like change in the locker rooms and all that. So in the row of lockers that I was in, there were probably like 15 people usually, but it was me and then these two like popular girls, and they were probably looking at me like, well, it's us three who couldn't go because we didn't have good enough grades, but I just elected to not go. But then like I realized everyone is probably looking at me like, wow, I wonder why Julia isn't going. And like I don't even care that it was just a really embarrassing time, because everyone at school was like looking at you and sizing you up, and especially in the gym locker rooms. But I wouldn't have remembered that if you didn't talk about it.
I can't say that I have. I can say that I thought. Did you hear can't?
No.
Okay, great. I can't say that I have never taken a gym class in my high school career.
Really? You're probably one of the few. It was required for
It was
2
required
years.
for me too. I think at least one semester.
But band got you out of it?
No, golf.
Oh.
You could use
That why you
sports.
did it.
You use sports as a substitute.
That's good.
I know. What can I say?
Yeah, you were scheming there. All the way back then.
Trust me, I've been scheming since
I don't think our future selves
kindergarten.
will even care to listen back to this.
I think it's so long that there's no way we say. There's no way anyone's watching this, first of all. And then there's no way that our future selves are putting it on and just listening. So
I mean, it could
honestly,
be background.
at this point, 1:24:24, we could really just say whatever comes to mind.
And I think we got quieter and dumber when the camera came on.
We got.
Because if you were just witnessing us in this living area space tonight, it would have been so much different.
Yeah.
So I just don't want our future selves to see this and be like, gosh.
No. Like, we've
Because
got...
we will forget.
Let's just get crazy, man.
That's why we were singing Into the Woods.
In the woods, I hate to go. I have to...
We could perform Your Fault.
Okay.
Because
Put it on.
it would actually, we would want to listen to that.
But it isn't my fault. I was given those beans.
Save
Just
it.
made a bean to count 4 beans.
Wait.
Okay, but you gotta mute it.
Because of
You got to change it on this, and my wife is
I
dead.
was getting the lyrics.
But it isn't my fault. I was given those beans.
Oh,
You
I
persuaded
thought
me
we
to
were
trade away
gonna
my
sing
cow
along.
4 beans, and without those beans, there'd have been no stock to get up to the giants in the first place. Wait a minute, magic beans for a cow so old that you had to tell a lie to sell it with you told. Were they worthless beans? Were they oversold? Until the silver persuaded you to steal that gold. See, it's your fault. No,
No.
see, it's your fault.
No,
and
yes,
is
it
it
is.
is? It's not. It's true. Wait a minute, though. I only sold the gold to get my cow back from you. So it's your fault. Yes, no, it isn't. I've got those
beans, but our house was cursed. She must get a cow to get the curse reversed.
It's his father's fault that the curse got placed and the place got cursed in the first place.
Oh.
Then it's his fault. It was
So
his
it was
fault.
his fault?
No,
No,
it's his. I guess. Wait a minute, though. I
Wait,
chopped
wait.
down the beanstalk, right? That's clear, but without any beanstalk, then
And
what's
that's
clear
clear.
is how did the second giant get down here in the first place? Second place,
guess
yes, how?
Where?
Who had the other bean? The other bean?
The other bean. You pocketed the other bean. I did. Yes, I did. So it's your fault.
No.
Because I gave it to my wife.
So it is wrong.
No, it isn't.
Wait a minute, so
Wait a
it-
minute. She exchanged that bean.
To obtain your shoes, so the one who knows what happened to the bean is you. You mean that old bean that your wife, oh dear, but I never knew it, so I threw it. Don't look here, so it's your fault, but it's her fault,
But-
and it isn't mine at all. But what? So if you hadn't gone back up again,
You were needy, you were greedy, did you need that hand?
But I got it from my mother, so it's her fault. Then yes, and what about the harp in the third place? The harp, yes, she wouldn't dare me too. I did you too. She dared me too.
The harp,
She-
yes.
She said that I was scared, so she dared me too. No, I didn't. So it's your fault. Wait a
Me?
minute.
No, I didn't. Wait a minute. If you hadn't done it, I hadn't let the harp alone, we
I'm
wouldn't be in
in
trouble.
trouble in
Well,
the
if you
first
hadn't,
place.
in the first place, thrown away the bean in the first place. Well, she hadn't raised it. Right? It's your fault.
You're responsible. You're the one.
It's your fault.
It's the last midnight. It's the last. What is it? Call.
Wish.
Wish. It's the last midnight. Soon it will be boom. Squish. Told a little lie. Stole a little gold. Broke a little vow. Did you? Had to get your prince. Had to get your cow. Had to get your wish. Doesn't matter how. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. It's the last midnight. It's the boom splat. Nothing but a fast midnight. Everybody smashed flat. Nothing we can do. Not exactly true. We can always give her the boy.
Gotta
No,
emphasize
no,
that.
of course. What really matters is the blame. Someone you can blame. Fine if that's the thing you enjoy, placing the blame. If that's the aim, give me the blame. Just give me the boy. No. No. You're so nice. You're not good. You're not bad. You're just nice. I'm not good. I'm not nice. I'm just right. I'm the witch. You're the world. You're all lost.
I'm the
Let's
hitch.
stop. Let's stop.
Yeah, they got it.
You got it.
That 25-year-old us just watched that. That's what I'm predicting.
I'm the witch. You're the world. Life plans. Let's go. Here are
That's
my
what I was
plans.
asking.
Here are my plans for life, guys. So I'm here at Temple University, Philadelphia, PA. Okay? Let me set the scene for you. That's it. Future? Gotta get at least one internship. Okay? I'm gonna POV you're Clarissa watching this. POV you're Clarissa watching this. I'm past Clarissa. I'm giving you a checklist, okay? I get at least one internship. Check. I graduate from Temple. either 25 or 26. 2025 or 2026.
Is that a possibility?
I mean, I don't know.
You mean to tell me Shannon's gonna graduate 2 years?
I'm giving myself room for anything.
Shout out to Shannon.
For anything that may come my way. Okay, check. I go to Italy for the summer of today's 2024. Check. Right. After I graduate, I get into grad school for a museum studies degree. Check. And then after I get done with that, then fast forward a few years if you really want to, I get a dog. Check. I have an apartment or just a house that I've got a place of my own. That's all that really matters. Check. My record collection has really grown. Check. I know.
Are you planning on hanging records up on your wall as like art?
I don't know. That's how it is in my childhood home.
So do you like listen to the ones on your wall?
No, I don't. They're just old ones that I got for like cheap. And then fast forward as many years as you want. All that matters, I end up, right now my mindset is working a job in Washington, D.C. at a museum. But I'll give myself room to grow. If Washington, D.C. isn't the way, that's fine. But working at a museum in a city that I like and it's a fun city, and or just a fun place that I like. Could be in America, could be in Europe, could be in Australia, could be in other places. Could be on the moon, who knows? But just a place that I like.
They do want people to go explore Mars.
To give museum
Would
tours on Mars?
Well, that's not true. But they're looking
Yeah.
to see if people can live there.
No, I just gave you my life plan, and living on Mars was not on it.
That's another reason why.
Own a Tesla, or at least an electric car. I'm only saying Tesla because I have the stock. You're so nice.
It's like pretty low right now.
Yeah, it's been dropping. Has that changed, future Clarissa?
Did you cash it in? Or are you in it for the long haul?
I'm in it for the long haul.
Me too.
Great. What's your life plan, Julia?
This is the only thing I want to do in this so far. What I can think is I want to go to Broadway when it's a walkable place, because they're going to implement a no vehicle area so that there can be outdoor restaurant seating.
That's it? I'm talking about your life. I thought you didn't like New York City.
I know, but I really want to experience this Broadway walkable.
You think this could change the city for you?
No, but that's just the only thing that I can think of in the future right now. I think that's another reason why we're very different is things just kind of like fall into place eventually for me. And I know part of it is like you have to work towards things falling into place, but normally things just like year by year, they're developing and then they happen when I need them to happen.
My mindset is at least have some, for me, I just want at least some sort of like
Goal.
Structure. And if different things happen, then as I said, I give myself room to grow. But I know that things can change and like the cards may fall how they fall, but at least having some structure gives me a sense of security about the future, and I'm not like treating it like it's some impending thing that I'm like scared of, but I've got some things to sort of look forward to. I've got dreams, I've got ambitions, fun things to go, fun places to go, fun things to do that I plan on doing in life. And I feel like I'd be scared if everything was just up in the air sometimes.
You're looking for like something in the center that's stable for you to be able to branch.
Like, if I didn't have anything planned, then that means that I'm accepting any possibility whatsoever, and I just don't want to be homeless. Like, living on the streets, not having a place, not having enough money in my bank account to live at a place, or just like not being financially stable enough to own a dog or have a home. Like, I want those things, and so this sort of life that I've imagined is gonna ensure that I'm financially stable and just having a
What do you think
nice
the
environment.
percentage is that you won't be living in the U.S.?
I'd say about 37%.
That's pretty high.
It's a little low.
I don't know, because I don't think I would even put mine that high, but I would like to live outside of the U.S.
Well, then that's interesting. 37% is very low.
Yeah, but I guess, like, I want to live outside of the U.S., but it just seems difficult.
And I feel like it's possible for me because, like, if you work in the museum field, first of all, if I'm traveling to Italy for the summer, then I might have an internship in a museum that summer. So I might get a taste for how things work at museums abroad. And then also, for example, Georgetown has their museum study program. You can take part of your classes in a museum in England. And so, like, I'm getting tastes, and there are, like, a lot of museums abroad, and
Yeah, I
in
think
Europe.
you chose a good degree. Museums can't die.
Trust me, they can. That's what I talk about in my museum history class. Like, there's, like, a lack of funding, a lack of, like, moral value in it, because, like, people are taking things that aren't theirs and putting them on display. And just, like, different things like that. But I guess in, like, a general sense, there's a good chance that they won't die. But yeah. So nice.
I don't think I like thinking about the future.
I'm the witch, you're the world.
Mouth trombone. That's good.
Thanks. When you're an only child, you have time to practice.
I actually always admire people who can do instrument sounds from their mouth.
Would you say what I just did was pretty accurate?
Yeah. They do say that the trombone is the most similar to a human voice.
Maybe that's why it sounded good. So, what's your favorite song right now?
Oh my god, my
My
stomach flipped again. Oh shit, my face is turning red. I taste where my lips bled.
Open up Spotify. I had a song that I woke up with just today. I actually forget the lyrics. Oh man. It was something. Oh. Yeah.
Oh my god, my stomach flipped again. Oh shit.
My face.
Copyright. We've
Oh,
gotta worry
yeah.
about it.
Is that why you muted it to the woods?
Yeah. Oh, I got it. Yeah, there is. The song that The song that is in my heart and soul for today is Wrath Pinned to the Mist and Other Games by the band of Montreal. And specifically the part that I really like. It's sort of like a hook, I guess. I heard it in the car yesterday when we were driving from Haverford, Pennsylvania. No, from here to Haverford, Pennsylvania for a Frisbee tournament. But I guess I first heard it on the radio in Nashville, Tennessee. Anyways.
Let's pretend we don't exist.
Oh yeah, I remember this one.
Let's pretend we're in Antarctica. Let's pretend we don't exist. Let's pretend we're in Antarctica. Let's pretend we don't exist.
Anyways, they go on and on. So
It's
those
funny
are
because Antarctica doesn't exist.
What do you mean?
Well, to some people, that's the edge of the world.
Right. Of course.
I'm ready to eat some hummus.
Hummus?
Yeah, hummus and Fritos. Do you want to try it?
You bought hummus?
Mm-hmm.
I bought hummus. Guess what, Julia?
It's not good. I actually have a huge tub of hummus.
Yes, I've got a...
What flavor is yours?
I
Mine's
got
just
classic.
normal.
Because I had the roasted red pepper and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take it a little bit basic today. But I opened remember how...
You're in your bland food era.
No, I'm in my fruits and veggies era.
Would you say that's...
No, fruits and veggies aren't bland foods. I had something to say. Put a pin in it. Remember when we were at Whole Foods or we drove past Whole Foods and we were like, yeah, we gotta go to the grocery store. Like, we need eggs. We didn't need eggs. We have a good 12 eggs, a good dozen eggs.
From them?
No, they're just in the fridge. We bought them before spring break, and they're still good. So we just have 12
I would have
eggs.
known.
Yeah, I found out today. So now we not only have 12
I don't
eggs,
eat them.
but we have 12 minus 4, 8. So 8 plus 12. We've got 20 eggs. Now, take a pin out of what you were saying.
I was just gonna say that I kind of want to go to the Ambler greenhouse and get bananas off of the tree. Except not bananas because we won't eat them. But I'm sure
don't
there's
like
other
bananas.
things. What if they had a lemon tree? Ambler is actually a really quaint town.
Let's pretend we're in Antarctica.
Let's pretend we're in Antarctica. Let's pretend we don't exist.
We've got homework to do.
So that's a great segue into.
And isn't it funny because our future selves will be like, homework? That sounds
Right.
foreign.
Things specific, like college things.
I know we'll
Residence
miss
halls. Residence halls. Homework. Roommates. Guest cards.
When do you break that out? Not often.
When you have a guest.
When my dad needs to use the bathroom in the lobby.
What?
No, they actually just let him in.
Yeah, we don't. Meal swipes.
Those are going out with old wigs. Powdered wigs.
Haven't heard that one before. So, yeah, these are just college things that.
And see, we literally had to occupy our time with doing this podcast because it's a Sunday And in college, Sundays become the worst day of the week. I'm sure if you polled college students, I'd be maybe one of 100 people. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say?
No.
If you polled college students, they'd probably love Sunday, but I don't.
They're not bad. Like, it's just the weekend. It's just Saturday, but closer to Monday.
It's 2 days away from Frisbee.
Can we not think about Frisbee? Just kidding.
Oh, that's good.
What can I say? So, are you ready to end this? Or should we just go the full 2
Thanks
hours?
for watching, Ella.
You think your sister sat through an hour and 45 minutes of this? You're married. Possibly
She's gonna watch it before that, so watch what you say.
your possible engaged / married / divorced
I think it's because she
sister.
likes just putting things out in the background, I think. I could be completely wrong about it. But you listen to podcasts, and that has kind of become part of your routine. And I hope this feels like a podcast to you. Like you honestly could have just put this on in the background and just heard some Pownak Pondering.
Or any of our friends, possible family, or just a stranger.
But we're not gonna
Strangers
advertise.
can watch this, you know.
I know, we're not gonna advertise this video, so people are gonna only have to find it by their own will.
I mean, I've told people to put their notifications on. So if
Who?
they're people,
Here?
no.
Exactly.
But people I went to high school with, I would go around saying, hey, subscribe to my YouTube channel, put on your notifications. So, that's what I would say.
So right when our guest gets here, we're gonna end it.
No. We don't have a guest. Who isn't
We have some
Who
lined
isn't?
up.
immunely, who doesn't have a clean nervous system, whose chest isn't full of mucus. It's true.
Is yours? It's not, it's true.
Yeah.
It's.
What? Anyways. Guys, IHOP has some fluffy pancakes.
Oh, did you eat them today?
Yep.
Is the butter good?
Yep.
Same.
The pancakes are fantastic. I might just go to IHOP. There's an
Actually-
IHOP downtown.
The reason I had a bad taste in my mouth when IHOP was
We went to IHOP yesterday.
because of,
Frisbee.
and the reason that I had a bad taste in my. Could you say that any more excited? Is because my mom said that she went there with her college friend. And they both got food poisoning. And they both got a burger from IHOP. So stick with the breakfast foods. I think you're fine with those.
Well, I had steak. And I didn't have a problem with it. It's great.
Yeah, so it's really a 50-50 chance.
I don't think
That's
so.
our data.
No, I've never gotten sick from IHOP. I've got a clean IHOP record. But I might just go there for the pancakes because they were really good and fluffy. Fluffy. And, yeah, I just really like IHOP. I was actually, the hospital where I was born was near IHOP.
Why do you know that?
Because that's the only thing I know about that hospital. I couldn't tell you the name of it. So
we've got Frisbee in 2 days, so we gotta prepare for that, so let's sign off.
I will not be preparing for Frisbee today because we just did Frisbee yesterday. And it's like I said at the beginning of this video, that was not going to be the first time you've heard us talk about Frisbee. It seems like a certain someone is just trying their hardest to insert Frisbee into the conversation whenever there's a pause.
Not me.
Right. It was Gavin.
Not Gavin.
Chester. It's this guy.
No, there's no one else.
Gordon got all the screen time.
It's true.
And now Frederick gets it. And so,
A blip in time, really. So, Pownak
Pondering.
Come on.
What? That's not wrong hand.
Is that why it wasn't working? Sign off.
I got a great sign off. Oh, put it back on. Okay. See ya. Hey.
What?
Get over here, Precious. Get over here, Precious.
Copyright.
Really? Come on. I'm getting it.
So I shouldn't sign.
Precious just ran out of